Hello everybody, I am Techno Void, your host and marketable plushie, and with me is your favorite Pokemon analyst, Hamster Wings. We are back with TDD week 5, I think, of season 7. How are you doing, Hamster Wings?
I think it's week 5.
I think it's week 5. Really, it's the week of... There's so little to talk about. So, on that note, we have a quick... Well, that's not quick ball. This is a... whatchamacallit ball.
Yeah,
Friend Ball. We got Meteor Bower from Timer Ball going against Stormy from Quick Ball. For this match, I mean, obviously there's going to be another at some point video on it, but I think we want to talk a little bit about sets here, potentially, just as like sort of team prep advice more than anything. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Cool. So why don't you hit me up? Let's talk. So I think we're mainly looking at Stormy's team here, because there have been some, I would say... decisions made sort of throughout the weeks that have been somewhat ineffective, and this is kind of like a way to help, I think, especially people in Quick Ball with certain strategies and just making sure that you build sets that don't super heavily rely on positioning that is difficult to achieve. Is that a fair way to put that?
I think that's the best way to put it, yeah.
Alright, let's get into it.
So, we're probably going to do a lot of talking before actually starting the match. And just full disclosure, I have the team sheet open for this.
Right.
Because I think it's important.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to talk much about Meteor Bower's team, because he's going to cover this match himself.
Yeah, he'll talk about his own team and that lovely level 1 Togedemaru over there.
Yeah. Speaking of, we'll get to that. But on Stormy's side, we have Heatran, Gastrodon, Mega Medicham, Iron Jugulus, Doxbun, and Cinccino. Starting off here, we have Scarfed Heatran. I'm not super against it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes sense for Genesect.
Right.
It's a good thing to have prepped into Genesect. Genesect kind of struggles to hurt Heatran.
Yeah, and Heatran is, I feel like, especially, like Scarf Heatran, it works well because obviously Meteor Bower's team is in large part predicated on both of the A tiers being very good at redirecting fire moves out of the Genesect, but Heatran is really good at spread fire moves. It has multiple options for that are all viable, so it is nice to basically be able to kill that Genesect on switch-in.
It is weird, though, to see a Scarfed Heatran without Eruption.
It is a bit odd, notably.
I understand you want Lava Plume for Doxbun.
Yeah.
But as we kind of said at the start, if you're not leading Heatran Doxbun, which Stormy actually did.
I do believe she does, yeah.
It's very hard to get two Pokemon that are like partners on your team builder to be partners in the game.
Yeah, because unless you get a double down, you're gonna lose momentum if one thing is in trying to get the other thing in a way that it is safe and is not gonna kill it. Like, we don't talk about my match this week, but I actually managed to do it with, like, a very lucky Protect on Annihilate into a double target on Annihilate, which let me switch my other slot out very safely. But, like, that could have gone very poorly. And in general, when you're playing, that's something that is generally risky.
I can mention it in one instance in a match we're going to talk about next.
Okay.
Of an aggressive double switch getting me to where I wanted.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But that's Heatran. Gastrodon is an Assault Vest set with Scald, Icy Wind, Sludge Wave, and Earth Power. Honestly, not gonna knock it. It's a pretty good set here. Maybe drop Sludge Wave for Sludge Bomb because it, hits your ally.
It does target your allies, which is not going to be ideal for something like specifically, I guess, Doxbun.
Which also notably makes it weaker.
Oh, yeah.
It's doing less damage because it's a spread. I think Sludge Wave is going to miss the KO on Ogre Pond compared to Sludge Bomb.
Yeah, that is one thing I really like to do when I'm prepping. Is when I'm choosing between a spread move of a certain type versus a single target move of a single type, I'll look at the enemy team and be like, how many of the enemy Pokemon do I actually want to hit with this? Like, what are the chances that both of the things on the enemy side on a given turn are both gonna be weak to something? And when I see something like Genesect, when I see something like Togedemaru, when I see something like Blastoise on the enemy side, I'm like, I never want to use a spread poison move because I just want to hit the Ogerpon or the Aromatisse, and the chance of them both being out at the same time is unlikely. So I would rather just get more damage on a single target.
I would say the chance of you hitting Ogerpon at all is 0 because it's going to kill you first.
Right. Sure.
And I doubt Sludge Bomb kills Aromatisse. I don't have my calc up, but that doesn't mean it's not worthwhile bringing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to kill it. You would need to plan around it probably going down to like 10-20%.
Yeah. I think just that sort of the damage reduction on multi-hits is definitely something to keep in mind for everybody. All right.
Yeah. So Metacham, moving on. We've got Fake Out, Ice Punch, Drain Punch, Fire Punch. A lot of punch.
Is this an Iron Fist mon? No, it's pure power.
No, it's pure power. So Fake Out, I think, is good here. It's a faster Fake Out user than Blastoise, which is always nice to have. Fire Punch for Genesect, I think makes sense.
Sure.
Having multiple answers to Genesect is... I mean, you're not going to go wrong with it.
Yeah, Genesect has been very feast or famine this season, if I'm remembering correctly, where, like, there have been weeks where Genesect does just go down immediately, but, like, in every other situation, like, when the enemy just doesn't have enough answers to it, Genesect tends to come out really late when that, like, one answer is dead, and it kind of just kills things.
Yeah, Steven's been good about preserving Genesect until, like, the fire is gone.
Yeah, until it's very much a win con that stays a win con throughout that match. He's been playing great with it, yeah.
So I actually, in light of that, love to see 3 fire moves on this team.
Mm-hmm.
All things that can deal with Genesect, 2 that actually outspeed it, 1 that outspeeds it even if it's scarfed.
Uh-huh.
And that would be Iron Jugulus, the next Pokemon here.
Yes. Yeah, Stormy's been a big fan of Fire Blast and Iron Jugulus, and I'm not going to knock it, but Stormy does not often run Stab on this thing, which I feel like she could definitely do more of. Like, Dark Pulse is really nice on this thing.
First of all, I think not a lot of people understand... Not a lot of people do base power calcs.
Uh-huh.
Which, I get that. I mean, you see super effective, you're like, oh, double damage, that's huge. But sometimes it's... This is something I've done... I've had to do with Ursaluna a lot, personally, is that I look at Earth Power, and I look at Blood Moon, and sometimes on the Electric-type Pokemon, Blood Moon does more.
That's weird, because they're both Stab for it.
I know. It's not very many cases. It's, you know, but running. Oh, I guess the best example of it was I ran Moonblast into OJ on week 1. Blood Moon just did more.
Oh.
To Garchomp.
Right. That makes sense.
Because it's a 90 base power times 2 versus 140 times 1.5.
Yeah.
Which ends up being...
And the really nice thing about stabs is even if they're not hitting everything super effectively, they're always more effective.
They're super consistent.
Yeah, they're consistent, like, regardless of what the enemy has on the field, unless it's, like, a quad resist. Like, even on a regular resist, you're rarely going to be in a situation where both things on the enemy on the enemy side resist you at the same time. So having stab options that are just way higher base power than a very specific, like, I do think running the Fire Blast specifically for Genesect is worthwhile, but then, like, Dark pretty much hits everything here besides Aromatisse
for neutral.
For neutral. So, like, just having that in the back that you can just throw that out with a speed boosting Quark Drive on just any Pokemon and getting a really solid amount of damage, it's good.
Yeah. In a similar vein, but kind of on the opposite side of the spectrum, Hyper Voice is on this Iron Jugulus, and it does nothing here.
What is it? Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
It's a 90 base power normal move, so it's not getting stabbed. It's getting the reduced damage of being a spread move.
And it's not hitting anything super effectively.
Yeah, because it's a normal move.
Yeah.
I think Hyper Voice serves no purpose in this
Uh-huh.
match and should be replaced by Dark Pulse.
Yeah. There's also the
If you,
dragon. Yeah.
if you want to leave off a flying move, I kind of get that. In this game, I think it's not the best idea because this is one of your few Pokemon that outspeeds Ogerpon, so I would want a flying move on it as well.
Yeah.
Probably Air Slash over
Slashes.
Hurricane.
Yeah. Yeah, just very, very, very consistent being able to hit that thing first. Because, yeah, the Ogerpon's definitely a threat here. I mean, obviously, Heatran can eat up a move, and Darkspin can eat up a move, so there are switch-ins for it. Well, no, because fucking Mold Breaker, I'm stupid.
Yeah, it has Mold Breaker to hit Ivy Cudgel on both of those.
Much,
it has
much like
Stomping
Meteor Power,
Tantrum.
I have forgotten that this thing has an ability.
It also has Stomping Tantrum, which will just kill Heatran.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, there's also the Dragon Cheer, which is something that has been run pretty consistently. I just don't think it's that good of a move on this team.
It's not.
I feel like this Jugulus is a lot better used offensively than supportively, especially when the things it's supporting are like Noivern Dracos, which just, it's not happening frequently enough. Like, Noivern is just not surviving long enough for that to ever be worthwhile, and I honestly don't think Dragon Cheer is a good move to use on non-dragon types.
Well, let's skip over Darkspawn for a second to talk about Cinccino, which, from the team sheet, looks like it's the intended benefactor of Dragon Cheer.
Okay.
It is a Skill Link Cinccino with Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, Triple Axle, Tidy Up, and a Scope Lens. Dragon Cheer and a Scope Lens would give it 50% chance to crit, and it has multi-hit moves, meaning the chance is much higher.
Right.
However, this math might blow some people's minds, but it's funny. Having Skill Link on Cinccino is actually by far the worst ability now. This is a 50% chance to increase your multi-hit moves by 50% damage. Switching Skill Link for Technician
And then running loaded
and
dice.
Scope Lens for loaded dice guarantees every single multi-hit move is boosted by 50%.
That's true.
Every single hit of every single multi-hit move would be boosted by 50%.
Yeah,
It misses a kill on Blastoise in this game that if it were the loaded dice set, it would have easily killed it.
Yeah, I think the big thing there, not even the big thing, but I think like the one reason you would want a crit based set is if you're really expecting like screens or something that like you want more crits. But if the only thing that matters is the damage, not the crit specifically, the loaded dice set simply does the same thing more consistently.
Yeah.
Yep. Dig
If
it.
you're not looking to crit through defense boosts, which there's not going to be any defense boosts.
Yeah,
in
not on
game,
this
I
team.
promise.
Yeah. The defense boost, his name is Blastoise.
Yeah.
Alright. Is there anything
And-
worth saying about the Darkspun? I mean, I know the Shell Bell is just not a great pick here.
Shell Bell as an item doesn't make any sense, yeah.
Yeah, it's generally not good. Honestly, run a, like, either a Lefties or a Citrus or something of that nature, probably. It gives you more
Yeah.
longevity.
Lefties or Citrus. I will say also that Baton Pass on this set, I don't think synergizes anywhere with this team. Generally, if you want to Baton Pass defense boosts, it's going to be something with like a high special defense, high natural special defense, decently high attack, and garbage defense with recovery.
Sure.
Gastrodon would be good to pass to on this team, but it's Assault Vest, which makes it impossible for it to heal.
Yeah. Does
so
Medicham
if Gastrodon-
get, like, Drain Punch or something?
It does. But Medicham is still going to die to special moves.
That's true. Alright. Should we get into the match? We talked a lot about this team, but I think it was worthwhile to just sort of, you know, some of the common pitfalls that gets seen a lot, just sort of explaining away what better options are available.
Yeah, I mean, this is meant to be just general advice.
Yeah.
It's
I think, yeah, I mean, just,
Pokemon is hard.
Yeah.
let's get that out of the way. Pokemon is a hard game.
I mean, there's just a lot of game states you have to account for in any particular match, and I think really what it comes down to, a lot of what you've been saying, is the consistency is so valuable, right? Because, like, there are so many game states that you're trying to account for, and, like, in some cases, it's really good to account for something like, obviously, a Genesect being out on the field, but, like, things are gonna not go your way, things are gonna take you by surprise occasionally, and just having not relying entirely on certain gimmicks or certain duos of Pokemon or like everything going your way, and just having a way to push through bad situations and regain momentum.
In general, people should avoid, like, quote unquote perfect pairings.
Yeah, center, yeah.
Unless they're on lead.
Agreed.
And that's very niche, because you need to have 2 Pokemon that you can lead that generally beat all 10 of your opponent's Pokemon for you to have that.
Which is rare.
Yeah.
Which is very rare. Alright, let's get into this one.
Now, speaking of game state, Steven gives away a really big piece of information before the match even starts.
With the level 1 Togedemaru.
With Fear Togedemaru.
Yeah.
So, Fear is not going to happen, ever, unless you lead it.
Uh-huh.
So, you know what completely shuts it down immediately? Cinccino.
That's true, yeah, because, yeah, you hit more than once.
Now, Cinccino would have been the target of Fake Out if it had come out, but as soon as Cinccino got to attack one time, Sturdy's not going to save it. But Heatran goes down, which is expected. Fear always kind of claims 1 life.
Yeah, and here we have the Fear into the Protect, which not going to work.
Yep,
so it's
good Icy Wind.
Yep.
Aromatisse was faster no matter what. Lowering its speed is irrelevant.
Is whatever, yeah. Here we got the Blastoise.
Yep, Blastoise comes out here. Encore into Darkspawn is very unfortunate.
Bro is protecting. Get the burn off.
Now, likely, from that Aura Sphere, Steven now knows that this Gastrodon is Assault Vest.
Yeah.
Which means he knows it can't protect. And is very safe to double into it right now. And there you can see the reduced spread move damage of a non-stab move. It did 28.
Yeah, it did. It did really nothing to Aromatisse, and it's not like that damage on the Blastoise was valuable.
No. This here, though, Cinccino is going to miss this kill on Bullet Seed just because of the set it's running.
Now, I'm curious, if that was not a spread move and they Stormy only sludged bomb into Aromatisse and the Blastoise was at full, would the loaded dice Cinccino set be able to kill from full or no?
I think it would definitely kill on with 5 hits. I'm not sure if it would kill the 4 hits.
Gotcha. Oh, and especially
after the Fake Out, yeah, probably.
Bro lives that Moonblast. He's cooking.
Yep, Metacham takes it like a champ. Bullet Seed's gonna come out. Now, each of these 10s and 11s would be doing like 15 to 17.
Yeah, because none of those crit.
Yep. If it was the Technician loaded dice set. Heal Balls comes out into the Blastoise. Makes a lot of sense. Steven has complete momentum here.
Yeah, another 3 turns of Trick Room. All he really needs, honestly. Get another Fake Out here. Switch into the Genesect. Really nice there. Get that special attack boost.
That's hilarious. It totally just doxed his set. It said Meteor Bower has switched into Genesect Douse.
Yeah, you could see the little blue thing at the top of his
Oh yeah.
He's got the
I've never used these items. I don't know how they work.
I think I used like 1 or 2 during the bug gym. Alright, so now we're down to these final 2. Also, I think one thing worth talking about is the dock spun with the body press. It does work when you're at +6, but again, sort of relying on that. Honestly, this freeze was kind of inconsequential, so
Yeah.
like it would have maybe gotten an extra differential because it's fast. Potentially could have doubled down there, but I think Ogre Pawn just ends the match after that. But again, like, I think we see a play rough like on this turn, maybe, or maybe I'm thinking of the other Stormy match that happened this week, and it does so much more damage. Which Dockspun does not do damage really. It doesn't have an attack stat, but
It's not a damaging Pokemon.
yeah, but
But
yeah, I don't know. The body press is just like there. Yeah, the play rough. I mean, I just feel like it's more effective. I don't know.
so this Darkspawn set actually does do less damage with Play Rough.
Oh really?
Because it's max defense, 0
Okay,
attack.
fair enough.
They're very, very similar.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because you look at Meteor Bauer's team, and what fire does? I mean, I guess you're hoping for your own Heatran to set up your defense boost, so you're not really
also,
expecting. Yeah.
If you want to go all in on a body press iron defense set,
Uh
honestly, run Wish Protect.
huh. True.
It gets that. It gets reliable recovery.
Very fair. Yeah, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like one of the big issues with Darkspun is it kind of destroys momentum.
Yeah.
Like
it's very hard to have a partner that will work with Darkspawn.
Yeah, like, yeah, I feel like whenever it's out, it takes too long to accomplish what it's trying to accomplish, so you're losing momentum by having it out. And sometimes, as we saw in the math match, it pops off in a situation where the enemy targets it with a fire move that is not mold breakered. So it can pop off. I just feel like it's generally not worth the struggle. I feel like there's just more consistent, better options. But that's it for this match, unless you have anything else.
Which, yeah, in case you missed that, Ogrepon is Mold Breaker. It ignores Well-Baked Body.
Yes. All right, let's get into the next one. This is you versus Juice. So this match has a weird couple of first turns, but why don't you talk about what you got to talk about?
There's maybe about like 6 turns in this match that are a bit problematic.
Potentially.
But that said, I think both of our preps were fantastic.
They're really weird.
All right, whatever.
I'm just saying, like...
So, we loaded in. I saw this team preview. I jumped out of my chair and did a lap around the house.
Uh-huh.
Because there was no Entei.
You love to see it.
So, a lot of my plan going into this match was, why is this Cavalier so good if there's no Entei? And then I spec'd like half my team around killing Entei.
There you go.
And the other half is a Scavalier. That's not true. But, you know.
He's cool. I like him.
So in this match I'm running Misty Seed on the bear. Which is a funny because Tapu Fini has telepathy. I'm
not even sure for what.
I think just to not give me a Misty Seed.
Misty Seed, yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense because Juice doesn't need the Misty terrain.
No, I don't have a dragon type. I don't really do status. I'm hyper offense. It wasn't necessary. It didn't do anything.
So yeah, it does telepathy.
Plus it would weaken his own Raging Bolt.
Ah, true. Yeah, that's something I've run into with Galarian, Weezing, and Archaludon.
Yeah. So something that Juice and I discussed after this match is that Blaziken might be problematic where it is.
Yeah, I mean, we've been thinking this potentially for most of the season.
Yeah. It can simply just... It doesn't matter if something's faster than it. It's just going to be like, I'm going to kill this or at least do 90%. It doesn't matter. You literally cannot stop me.
Mm-hmm.
But, basically, I guess to get into some of the deeper thoughts I had on this team, Tailwind seemed unlikely from Juice's side.
Sure.
And so does Trick Room. I know Meowscarada gets it, but I couldn't really see him choosing to run it.
Yep.
The reason why Tailwind I say seems unlikely is because, one, I don't think Drifblim was coming.
Makes sense.
I think Drifblim risked Moltres setup and sweeping the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other Tailwinder Juice has access to is Sizzle.
Geyser, yeah.
And I was fairly certain Sizzle would be offensive.
Makes sense.
Because it's kind of necessary for Ogerpon. Ogerpon goes very hard into this team. So that's kind of the thoughts from my end. I'm running Light Screen on Fourgeist because Juice's SAAs are all special nukes.
Focus. Yep.
Well, I mean, I guess Finny's not a nuke, but it can Calm Mind.
Yeah. Which it does.
Yep. And then that Escavalier here to just kind of like poke things for like 30 to 50%, but never take any damage.
Yeah, very, very threatening, bulky offense there.
Yeah.
Love that speed stat of fucking 20. Just gives them so much to play with everywhere else.
Yeah.
And Stantler!
Yeah, Stantler's
Fuck
here.
this guy!
Off the bench for the first match.
Fuck this guy! I have to bring Pichu again!
You don't have to.
I have to bring Pichu again! Fuck you! Fuck you, Stantler! I hope you die! Good news, actually. Spoilers for the match, but good news. Stantler does die.
Yeah, it's true.
Can confirm. So that's actually great. Alright, anything else or should I click play?
I think this is a good place to start it.
Cool. I'm talking about those unused C tiers. I'm so happy to see them. I love when people bring their C tiers.
So first turn was terrifying for me, by the way.
Uh-huh.
I was like, if he has Iron Head on Scizor, Florges dies. If he doubles Florges dies. If Landorus is Scarfed and I attack it, Ogerpon dies. So, kind of just going through in my head the priorities of everything, the thing that was most important was keeping Ogerpon alive.
Mm-hmm. And there's that double switch you were talking about.
Yeah, so here's a double switch into Moltres Escavalier. And Moltres takes, most of its health, and surely it'll die next turn.
Surely. Hamster loves a good sack.
But, of course, just kidding, I protect it. Because, I can get one free turn out of Escavalier. I click Metal Burst, hoping that maybe the Landorus will Earth Power into me, and I would just kill it right back. Moltres then flinches the Scizor, causing it to live another turn. So
you
this
really want to get
Moltres that I've been trying to sack is still here.
These are valuable light screen turns.
And then Moltres uses the light screen to live again.
These are valuable light screen turns that you could be using on another Pokemon.
On like Ursaluna.
Yeah. Nice 22 through the light screen there after a Calm Mind.
Yeah, I clicked Tailwind here, predicting Thunderclap. Thunderclap does not happen, and Moltres dodges.
Bro missed.
So it lives another turn.
Bro missed AF. There's the Thunderclap.
The Thunderclap goes into Escavalier, but not Moltres.
That's a dead Raging Bolt, baby.
The Draining Kiss comes into Moltres, but it's just not enough because, it had 1 HP.
Yeah.
So it's not getting anything back, and Escavalier takes out Tapu Fini.
Moltres toughed it out so you wouldn't feel sad.
Moltres hacks the crap out of this game. So Meowscarada comes in, Stantler comes in. I had a feeling Stantler was coming in, and I wanted to just hard switch to Blaziken there on the feint, but Stantler was coming in. I had a feeling, and I wanted to switch in Ursaluna and then switch to kind of guarantee Flower Trick would go into that spot and that Blaziken wouldn't take the Intimidate. I don't think Stantler even had Intimidate though.
No.
So Juice goes for Sucker Punch there. I could have upper-handed.
The greatest anti-me first of all time.
Yeah.
using a move that you are immune to yourself.
Yeah. Escavalier doing wonders in this game. It's taken out a Finny. It's taken out a Meowscarada.
Rose cooking.
Gets the me first on the play rough, and I'm gonna do 90% to this Landorus, and just like that, Blaziken has done its job.
Yeah. And by play rough, you do mean Flare Blitz, but yeah.
I did mean Flare Blitz. Gets a nice little Mega Horn into the Stantler. Does a lot of damage. Ogerpon comes out now because I've seen Landorus protect. I know it's not Scarfed.
Mm-hmm.
In comes another me first. I clicked Drill Run there in case Scizor came out because I would have lost 2 Pokemon if I hit Scizor with Poison Jab.
Yeah, but instead, it's just Pichu has to come back now because Stantler has gotten a kill.
Yep. So Vacuum Wave takes out Stantler because it was Scarfed. Ivy Cudgel takes out Scizor, and then all that's left is Landorus, which will also go down to a Vacuum Wave.
Indeed. All right.
So there was a lot of luck in this match, but I also think my positioning was like really good. I haven't felt like I've played a good game this season before now.
Oh, damn! I feel like that's untrue, but all right.
I felt like I don't know. I got lucky again. There was a whole conversation in there about I don't want to win like this, you know.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
I get
but
you.
In the end, I feel like I did play well.
I mean, I don't think it's the first time. I mean, you with that Moltres, I mean, that Moltres not dying was, despite the fact that it was hilarious and in your favor, you also were really just trying to get Ursaluna in while it was protected by the light screen.
Yeah, I really was.
So I kind of see that as a zero-sum game in some ways. Obviously, the mental game, honestly, is also zero-sum. I think everyone loses the mental game on that. Because Juice is like, God damn it, I just want to kill this thing. And you're just like, God damn it, I just want Juice to kill this thing.
Yeah,
and you're both on the same page. He knows that you want it to be killed, but like he needs to kill it anyways, because otherwise it could set up like a tailwind.
Yeah.
Boy.
I mean, Juice stalled my entire tailwind by accident.
Yeah, truly. truly. All right. Well, that is the match. Any final notes on this week?
I don't think so.
Cool. That's awesome.
Just kind of like general. It's so hard to give advice on how to position.
Yeah.
Like I think the best example in this whole match was me switching in Ursaluna only to switch it out to get Blaziken in.
Yeah, because that happened on a down, so like you didn't know what Juice's side was gonna look like, but you essentially predicted the Meowscarada Stantler, and were like, okay, I want.
Basically, Ursaluna was a catch-all.
Yeah.
If Meowscarada comes in, Flower Trick is almost guaranteed going into the Ursaluna slot, and Blaziken takes it very easily.
Mm-hmm.
If Stantler comes in, Ursaluna gets intimidated instead of Blaziken, which gets me then in Blaziken. If Scizor comes out, it dies to Vacuum Wave.
If like Lando comes in,
it dies to Vacuum Wave.
True. Good point. Yeah. So that's a good thing. Cool. All right. Well, that is gonna be it for us this week. If you enjoyed the video, that's your own fucking problem. Goodbye.
Bye.